Any parent can tell you getting children to break late-night summer sleep patterns as the school year begins is a daunting challenge. So joining us now with help getting our little ones back on track is Sasha Carr, licensed psychologist, certified sleep coach, and mom. Hi, Sasha.
Hi,
Let's
Tanya.
get right to it because this is something we're going through in my household.
Sure.
What are the best practices for getting them to go to sleep before 10 o'clock at night, which is what I'm dealing with right now?
Sure. Well, it's natural during the summer for things to get looser, and that's part of the fun of summer is not keeping your eye on the clock. But you really want to think about what time your kids are going to need to get up for school and then count back 10 to 12 hours depending on their age. So younger kids.
Each child, they each need about 10 to 12?
They do. Parents tend to underestimate how much sleep kids need. A good rule of thumb is to watch them between 4 and 6 p.m. If they seem like they're starting to kind of unravel or get hyper, that's a sign that they're overtired and you probably want to pull bedtime a little earlier. And what you'll often find, you think they're going to fight you, but if you get early enough, you're kind of catching their natural sleep wave and they're more likely to fall asleep. If you wait too long, they actually start to release hormones like adrenaline that help keep them awake.
That is such good advice because I was just going to ask you, why do they seem to get a burst of energy right at bedtime, even if they've been tired during the day?
Right. And as adults, it seems so strange to us because we just get tired.
Right.
But they actually, it's like they had a shot of espresso. Like,
And your fun book deals with exactly this issue.
Yes.
Putting Bungie to bed, which my boys read last night. I just left it on their bed. I didn't say anything about it. They picked it up out of curiosity. They loved it. And they said it made them want to go to bed.
That's wonderful. It's inspired by my work with kids around ages 3 to 6. And it's using a lot of the principles that I use with families. So one of the main points is be very clear about what your expectations and rules are regarding sleep. Because a lot of times we want our kids to go to bed, but we don't really have a plan. And that's what happens with the characters, Ben and his best friend Bungie. Ben's kind of trying all different things willy-nilly.
They have a plan. They have.
Right.
Tell us about their plan. Is that a good plan for everyone?
It is. You want to be really clear about your sleep rules in the house. Everybody needs to follow the same rules, which are when it's bedtime, everybody needs to go to bed, everybody needs to stay quiet so they don't bother anyone else, and everyone needs to stay in bed except for potty breaks until it's time to get up. It sounds just simple, but when you really spell it out with kids, it's actually helpful to them.
So getting the kid to stay in bed is sometimes tricky. You say a potty break is okay. If they need to go to the bathroom, they have to go to the bathroom. But what about, Mom, I'm thirsty. Mom, I'm hungry. I get that a lot at night when lights are out.
Right. So part of it is anticipating things that they tend to ask for and addressing that if you can beforehand. But you kind of want to become like night mom versus day mom. And night mom is very quiet, doesn't really interact a lot unless it's something that's really an emergency like snacks at night. Your kids don't need snacks at night. So you just very calmly keep saying the same thing, which is it's time to go back to bed, just like Ben does with Bungie, leading them back. And a lot of times I tell parents after the first time, don't even say anything.
Don't respond.
Right. And you basically have to outlast your kids who, if they're overtired, like we were saying, they have a ton of energy. But if you keep persisting, they will eventually give up.
Right.
A lot of times with parents I work with the first night, it might be 30, 40, 50 times. Oh. But if you keep doing it, and it seems daunting, but if you go in knowing that and have a plan and know that there's an end result, you can do it.
Now, very quickly, what is your advice for recognizing when your child is ready to move to a big child bed?
Well, I like them to be as close to 3 as possible. I like them to be actually talking about it and to have a conversation beforehand. So if you can actually talk to your child about the rules and feel like they understand what you're talking about, then that's a good sign. Don't switch them out of the bed because, for instance, a new baby is coming along and you just want the real estate. I tell my parents, just borrow a crib or rent a crib for a few extra months. You'll save yourselves a lot of headaches.
Absolutely.
So you want to really look to them for their preparedness.
Sasha, thank you so much for all that great sleep advice.